Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Donnie and today I'm going to show you how you can perform an append in Power BI or appending queries. So appending queries means you have this multiple files in your Power BI that you loaded in Power BI as you can see here, and you want them to become just one table. Now these three files or three tables or three queries contain the same information. So as you can see, I have here student IDs, names, sections, final grade date, and so on. And I just realized that when I uploaded this file, it seems that it picked up even the blank rows. So I'm going to fix that later in Power Query. But as you can see, technically they have the same fields. Okay. It's just I want them to become just one table. Now I'm going to do this by going to Power Query. So I'm going to right click and then edit query, and that will send me back to Power Query. So here, I'm going to remove the blanks because I just realized that there are blanks there, and it's actually visible over here. You would notice that there are gray lines over here on the line. So I can click that column and then go to Home, Remove Rows, and then remove blank rows, and that will eradicate the blank rows, leaving a solid green line under the columns, meaning there are no blank cells or blank rows. I'm going to do it on all of these rows. And let's just say there's an additional knowledge, okay, for you guys out of this video. Now I'm going to merge the first two tables that I have here because I want to show you what will happen if there are different field names. So the idea here is that if you want to do something like this, then you have to make sure that all of the column names are the same, because Power BI will sort of like map each column based on the name of that column. So one of the files here, my school year 2023, has a different header name for the final date grade. And I want to show you later what will happen if you have a different header name for one of the columns. So I'm going to first append the 2021 and 2022 just to show you. So to do this, I'm going to click any of the queries. Let's say the first one, 2021, and then I'm going to go to Home. And then under Home, there should be a button that says Append Queries. Now in the Append Queries, just like in Merge Queries, you have the option for the first file, the one that you click right now, to take the data from the second file. So there will be no additional tables. It's more of this table here will update with the data from the second table. Now, another option is to append queries as new. So meaning the original query will not pick up the new data, but instead a new table, a fourth one, will show up here showing the merged versions of the two queries. So technically both are okay. It's just what we want to do in this video is the first one wherein the 2021 data will accept the 2022 data. So I'm going to now go to append queries and just choose the first one. And then from here, you have the option to append just two tables or three or more. For now, since I only have another table to append into the 2021 table, I'm going to choose two tables and then I'm going to select table to append. The one that is currently selected will have the mark here current, so meaning it doesn't make sense to choose this one. So I'm going to choose 2022 table and click OK. And with that, I now have an appended version of my Power BI SY 2021. So if I'm going to look at the final grade date, you will notice that I now have two tables over here, or 2 years of data. So that's appending two tables. Just to show you that an appending has happened, you will notice here that there are 366 rows And if I'm going to delete the appended query from the applied steps, so it will revert back to 183 rows because I just undid the appending that I just did. Now, what I want to show you this time is what will happen if one of the tables have a different header name like this. Then another one, what if one of the fields or two are not of the same position as the other tables that you will append? So we're checking two things here. What if the fields are on different columns, and what if one of the fields have a different name in one of the tables? So I'm going to again click the first one, and just also to show you, I'm going to use append queries as new this time. So I'm going to get the same window that I have, except that I'm going to select this time 3 or more tables. And instead of a drop-down interface, I now have this option to add tables to the right side, which are the tables that I will append. So now I have here the 3 tables, and then I'm going to click OK. So since I selected append queries as new, I now have a 4th table. Unlike the first one that I did, wherein the SY 2021 accepted the data from the second table. So now I have a table that contains all the rows. So if you notice, I have 542 rows over here, which is the sum of 183, and then another one, 183 here, and another 176. Okay. So with this, let's see what happened to the tables that we have. So the table, the columns that we swapped is section and name. And you will notice that I don't have any problems with that here under name and section. As you could see, I have a solid green line, which as I mentioned earlier in this video, means there are no blank rows in this column. So meaning everything here is accounted for. On the other hand, the final grade date has gray bars, meaning some of its cells are blank. And those cells are the cells from the SY 2023. And as you could see, if I hover my mouse over that green bar, you will get some information about that column. And it says here that there are 366 valid rows and 176 empty, which means those from SY 2023, which is a total of 176 rows, is not appended properly for this column. So what Power BI did in that case is that it created a new column over here, the one that says final date grade, which is the name of the field in the third table, the one that is different. And that table, or that column, I mean, is 176 worth of valid cells and 366 empty cells. And as you can see, the first rows, which belongs to the first two tables, are all null, meaning empty. And that's what append does. So one way to fix this, just to go the extra mile and discuss this further, is of course I have to undo what I just did here. So since this is an append query as new, it did not create any applied steps over here because technically I just created a new query. So I can just right click on this append table that I did and just click delete. So no harm done over there, no problem. So what I'm going to do is in Power Query, I'm going to rename the wrong column name, which is final grade date. So I'm going to change this as final grade date, enter. And I'm going to perform again the appending query. So I'm going to do the append query as new. And I'm going to do the same thing. So 3 or more tables. I'm going to select SY 2021. SY 2022. Since this is an append, technically it doesn't really matter which query you select first because they will all add up anyway as one table. Then click OK. So the resulting table has a solid green line across all its columns because everything appended properly. And with this, we just learned how to append. Now, the next question is, can we delete these tables that we have over here? So if we do that, right-click on one of the appended or source queries, I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to see that I'm going to get a warning that it is not allowed because technically that query is part of another query. So we cannot really delete that. Similar to merge. And that's it. I can now go to home, close and apply. And with that, moving on, I can just use the appended query table that I have in my reports. So I don't really need these ones anymore. If you want for them not to show up in the publish report, you can sort of like close the eyes and it won't harm the appended version. It's just you cannot delete them. They have to be there. Even in the data model, they have to be there. It's just they have everything hidden. And with that, that's it. I hope this video somehow helped you. And if it did, please would appreciate a like and subscribe in the channel. It really helps the algorithm and helps us create more videos for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to use the comment section and I'll try my best to answer as soon as I can. But for now, that's it. And I'll see you in the next one.